This used to be a parking lot, a beautiful parking lot. Not the Eye of Sauron trying to overtake UArts real estate. So the new tenants of Hamilton Hall and Furness converted the space into a workspace for artists to rent out studio space, and the rear of the building, which used to be a courtyard for the dormitories, is now a summer restaurant bar called Frankie's Summer Club. This used to be a bare gate, but that's the new entrance. I think that's my dorm mailbox. I don't know. That window right there, I believe that's my old dormitory too, and it's kind of hard to count from the outside. And they redid the addresses, so it's no longer 2M, but I believe that's the window right next to Frankie's Summy Bar right here. Okay, that was literally my first time in that courtyard for, I want to say 2 decades, maybe. Yeah, they had an event here last year for UArts, but the courtyard closed off, so everything was under construction. Wouldn't surprise me if most of the UArts buildings should be condemned, but apparently I see people walking on the second floor now. This is the first time I'm walking the second floor for, I want to say like 2012 maybe. The only thing is like that's closed off is the old audio visual department, which I used to work at in UArts, and sadly the guy who ran the AV department, Brian Feeney, passed away a couple years ago, and I didn't find out until the school closed. So I was asking for him and I said, hey, is Brian around? And then no one knew. Then he later found out he passed away a few years ago, unfortunately. So I ran into him like right before he passed. So I just assumed he was still alive and kicking and working here, unfortunately. And then you can see the art house condo from the roof of Hamilton Hall. And speaking of Brian Feeney, here's a funny story he once told me about this vacant lot that used to be right next to Anderson Hall, or rather the church that was next to Anderson Hall. Right about here, it was just an empty lot, fenced off, and then sometimes they would hold art galleries in there. UArts actually wanted to build about a 10-foot story brand new dormitory right here. So you would have had a brand new dormitory right next to Anderson Hall. They unfortunately could not get the zoning permits for it because a bunch of NIMBY neighbors did not want a 10-story tower blocking their view, which is odd because they live in a city. I don't know what they signed up for. So that gets blocked, and then UArts has to scramble and buy Juniper Hall and Spruce Hall. So anyone who did not appreciate or really like Spruce Hall because it was kind of a dump, because of these NIMBY complainers, you had to live in that dormitory instead of a brand new facility that was right next to Anderson Hall. They did not want a 10-story tower. Just think about that. They did not want a 10-story tower blocking their view. Fast forward 20 plus years later, this is in its spot of that empty lot instead. When I started college back in 2000, this was a giant hole in the ground, and they had to build walk-around canopies for a couple of years until it was completed in 2003. I had my 2004 graduation in there, and then I think that was one of the only graduations that was held in this building, probably because it was expensive. Okay, that delivery robot got stuck in the middle of a pride parade. It was literally moving like 2 feet an hour. Everyone keeps on stopping it. So that guy's going to get his food delivery 2 hours late, and the robot's going to be covered in glitter. That's a